Hello explorers, today I'm going to be starting off my biology series, and I'm going to be starting it off with a bang. Or rather, apoptosis. Apoptosis is a cellular process that in some cases can stop cancer before it even starts. And today, I'm going to be talking all about that. However, to learn how apoptosis can stop cancer before it even starts, you need to learn some basic things about mitosis. Okay, now I'm going to show you DNA replication, a process that happens during the interphase stage of the cell's life. So what we have here is DNA, and I've drawn all the nucleotides, obviously, which go like that. And then a protein called helicase separates those. So now there are two strands, and the nucleotides obviously stay with them. And then new nucleotides join in, and then form a complete strand of DNA on that side. And that happens on both sides. So now, there's DNA in both places, which forms like that. So that is DNA replication that happens before mitosis. When mitosis happens, each one of these DNAs goes inside of a cell. And then, each cell is supposed to have the same DNA as the original, because each nucleotide requires only the perfect corresponding nucleotide on the other side. If not, it's not going to work. So, by definition, if everything goes correctly, both of these DNA should be the same, and they should be the same as this DNA right here from the parent. Okay, so this is how a cancer works then. Let's say this thingy here is a DNA strand from a cell. And let's say, in one part of the DNA replication process, something went wrong, resulting in all of these to be incorrect. For example, what I mean by that is take these two. If this is supposed to be adenine, and this is supposed to be thymine, and let's say something happened and this became guanine and this became cytosine, then that's a change. And let's say all of these went wrong. Then when this cell replicates, it's going to make two other DNA strands. But both of them are not going to be similar to the one that this came from. They're going to be a new one. And that is going to have a different DNA sequence than the original. And that's a problem because if that messes up something, sometimes cells could reproduce very fast. And then the amount of cells will go up, causing a tumor. And that is what we call a cancer. Okay, so let's say this is a tissue in the body. These big cells are all normal cells, but these are mutated. This is what happened whenever I just showed in the previous example when the DNA got changed. So let's see, these are mutated. So then, these cells start growing very rapidly and take over a lot of place. If all of these cancer cells come close to a blood vessel, the cancer cells could be transported to another location where they'll grow even more. This is why cancer is such a big problem. It can spread throughout the body, and this is also why a lot of people that suffer from cancer have a very hard time recovering from it or even surviving it. In that example we saw before, apoptosis won't really help much. There are too many cells, and at that point it's going to be really hard to stop the cancer. But if we rewind a little bit and go back when there are only a few cells, then apoptosis could kick in and help. So let's say this is a cell that just got mutated. And now, it undergoes apoptosis. Apoptosis is basically pre-programmed cell death. And the cell basically dies. And the only cells that are killed in this are the cancer cells, obviously. So basically what happens is, first, a signal is sent to the cell, probably by itself or by an outside place, that it needs to basically kill itself, the cell. So then, the cell basically, first what happens is something called blebbing, which is where all the cytoskeleton which holds the cell together breaks away. And that basically causes the cell to kind of bulge outwards like that. And still the organelles are still inside. And then what happens is proteins are sent out to consume these organelles and kind of eat them up. And then enzymes also break down the nucleus. Afterwards, the cell kind of closes in as it gets kind of smaller. And then all of these organelles are all trapped inside of it like that. And finally, the cell breaks apart, and each little organelle bit is held inside membrane-bound circles, like this. And then finally, macrophages, which basically eat the cell through a process called phagocytosis, it basically eats up these little bits. That is how apoptosis can stop cancer before it even forms. Because see, the cell hasn't even divided yet, but it's already gone. It won't have a chance to pass down that bad DNA to the next few cells and cause a cancer or a tumor. Of course, the cancer can be benign or malignant, which means good or bad respectively, but still, it's going to end it either way. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad cancer for apoptosis to kick in. Now that I've explained that, you might be wondering, why does cancer even happen in the first place then? That happens because of a few reasons. Two of them are that either the cell multiplies too fast so that each cell cannot be killed fast enough so they keep dividing, or since the DNA is damaged, it cannot undergo apoptosis so it keeps multiplying. Apoptosis is not just limited to helping prevent cancer. It can also do other things, like helping prevent a virus spread once it's infested into a cell, or if protein gets misfolded and that cell is pretty much useless. It's also part of development, like when the tail comes off of a tadpole. It's not that the tail gets removed or falls off like a lizard or anything, it's because of apoptosis. Something else to watch out for is that apoptosis is not necrosis. Necrosis is whenever the membrane basically bursts and everything just spills out all over the place. Apoptosis is easy to tidy up with phagocytes and macrophages and phagocytosis. However, necrosis is not supposed to happen. An example of necrosis is frostbite. The frost, which is basically ice, is sharp crystals of ice. The sharp crystals of ice puncture the cell membrane and basically cause everything to spill out. And as a result, that tissue is diseased and it can't really do anything. And that's why necrosis, such as frostbite, is so dangerous. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to be notified of new videos by me, then press the subscribe button and notify yourself using the notification button. If you want more people to grow and learn science and know the wonders of science, share this video. And finally, if you want to give comments or suggestions for new videos, then comment them down below. Thank you for watching.